All right, back at NAMM, Musicians on the Record. I'm David Ward. We were just at the sessions.org panel discussion with Dom Famularo. We now have Paul Quin in the house with us. Thanks for being on the show, Paul.
David, my pleasure. Nice to meet you.
You guys killed it in there. Very inspiring about the music business, how to take care of yourself, how to get along with people. Tell me about what are some of the top couple of things that somebody needs to know when going in the music business to take care of themselves, protect themselves legally and business-wise.
Well, that's a huge question.
You only have a few minutes for that?
Yeah, well, let me give you in 10 words. No, I can't do that. But people need to remember that the music industry is a music business, and they need to think like a business. I mean, the fact is that if you were starting with 3 of your friends a business to go fix people's toilets, chances are you would incorporate. Right, you would get business cards, you would advertise, you may have a lawyer to take care and join an agreement between you all. But when people form a band, they invariably do not do that. They don't think of themselves as a business. And also amongst some creative people, there's a tendency where they will say, thinking like a business is just crass. I just want to be creative and I want to create, which is terrific. And you'll have a fine career playing for your mom. If you want to have success in the industry, and if you gauge success as playing in front of larger and larger audiences and potentially making money, you've got to think like a business at some stage. And that may involve incorporation, it may involve forming an LLC. In all likelihood, it should involve forming an agreement between the band members that say what your rights, obligations, and expectations are. And you should have business cards. And you don't have to have an agent. You need to have a social media presence. Now, you should have a fan page and you should have a personal page, and they shouldn't interact. If you are interested in having the media like you should govern and look at the pictures that are going to be on your page. If you have pictures of that time you accidentally drank the 3rd bottle of tequila and you wouldn't be happy with that appearing on the front page of the newspaper, maybe you don't put it on the page. You need to project professionalism. And I know that's something say, well, actually, let me backtrack. If you have a fan page for your band and your band's image is wild and crazy, you can have a wild and crazy page. If your fan page is for you, the session guy, or you, the guy that wants to be hired by other musicians, you need to be sober, on time, professional, and you need to portray yourself as busy. Now, you never lie, because lying will always undermine you in the end. But there is nothing wrong. If you are recording with your friend, even if it's a studio in his basement, there is nothing wrong with posting, looking forward to recording and setting up a couple of new songs today. Let people know you're busy, because if all you're posting is you watching TV and you're hanging out, musicians start to wonder why you're not being hired. And the reason may be that they may conclude that it's because you're not good enough. So think like a business, act like a business, be professional, and realize if you really want to succeed, it takes all your time. Long answer.
No, great answer. And I loved you shared some of your personal story of us that I didn't say it at the beginning, but in addition to being a lawyer, you are also a drummer. And can you share a little bit of your story of how that process got to be?
Sure. I dropped out of high school at 16. I'd started playing the drums when I was 9. My sister is a very successful singer, so I started playing with her when I was 13. I bypassed that high school band thing. Never even happened. I went straight to playing with grown-ups. My sister's 9 years older than me, so I went straight to playing with grown-ups. At 16, I was playing in a fairly successful rock band who got given a major tour. So I left high school, moved out of home, and went to do that. Joined another band that had had some success in the UK, and unfortunately signed some really bad deals and got very badly ripped off. I moved to the US to play more music, and I toured. I played with a bunch of other folks. But ultimately decided the best way for me to go was to stop people making the same mistakes I made. So I went to law school, and now I represent artists.
And really helping people in that way, but keeping music in your life in a very core way.
Oh, I still play. I still do about 30 shows a year. In fact, I play with one of the most talented guitar players in the country, a guy called Sean Hopper. You should go check him out on YouTube. He plays acoustic fingerstyle guitar, and I play cajon and shakers and cymbals, and I sing with him. I don't do as many kit gigs as I used to do, but I'm getting older, and not carrying it feels pretty good.
Yeah, right. It's a lot to carry in the drum set, so.
I should have played flute.
But so positive, so inspiring with the sessions.org. Go check that out online. And really, one of the core messages is it's okay that the music business is a business. That doesn't have to be a dirty word. There's a lot of positive people. Kenny Aronoff was talking about surrounding yourself with positive people. Seems like a key thing.
Listen, I'll tell you, the music business has the greatest people in the world in the music business. Now, that doesn't mean all the people in the music business are great. There are some people that will take advantage of you, and that's my job, is to act as a buffer and stop that happening. But creative people and musicians are the finest people in the world, and surrounding yourself with them and getting to know them is the greatest gift I can have. I mean, I sit on that stage today, so privileged to sit between Kenny Aronoff and Darryl Jones and pretend like I'm on the same level as them. My job is just to help people and hope they don't make the same mistakes that I made. Because if I'd had me when I was 18, maybe I would have been doing better as a musician.
Well, I found you very inspiring, very knowledgeable, and really funny. Thank you so much for the humor in all of that as well.
Well, you know, if you can't laugh, what are you going to do, really?
That's right. Exactly. Absolutely. Paul Quin, thank you for being on Musicians on the Record. Thanks so much for your time.
Truly my pleasure. And thanks, David. And go check out Musicians on the Record.
Listen to that. Very cool. And thesessions.org. We'll be back with more coverage of NAMM 2017.